now that we know so much more about the song culture of Sappho, I think we might have more to think about as we look at these amazing words, quote unquote, quoted from the Lament of Briseis. We see Briseis, the would-be bride of Achilles, contemplating the death of Patroklos, who's the kinder and gentler version of Achilles right now in the Iliad. And one thing that's wonderful about Briseis is that she is explicitly an Aeolic woman. So she comes from the same song culture that Sappho comes from. Of course, she is a mythologized person, mythologized at least in a different way than Sappho, maybe mythologized much later in 600 BCE, but nevertheless, she is presented as an Aeolic woman and a captive woman, and that has all sorts of interesting subtexts. And isn't it wonderful that she looks like golden Aphrodite? So, in a sense, what we see in Sappho's wedding songs, where the bride is compared to Aphrodite, and in fact the bride is Aphrodite at the moment of her getting married, here looking like, again, could be, if it's the right circumstances, if this were a wedding, she would be Aphrodite at this moment, but this is not a wedding. This is, if anything, a most frustrating vision where she sees Patroklos, who's the only person who was nice to her, all cut up, and she has a flashback, and we talked about this the last time we looked at this passage. She has a flashback of how my husband looked just like that when he was lying dead on the ground, and he was cut up the same way, and how I was lamenting then, and now I'm lamenting for Patroklos. And am I really lamenting for Patroklos, or am I lamenting for my former husband? And am I really that keen on getting married to Achilles, or am I just hanging on to some hope that if Achilles is the body double of Patroklos, that maybe he'll be nice to me the way you, Patroklos, were nice to me, but now you're dead.
So it's an opportunity to do so many things, right? To relive the past, to sort of prefigure the future. And yeah, I'm just really fascinated by that, the radiance again of Aphrodite here.
Yes, yes.
And the way that it can be used as this climactic moment, but here instead of being the wedding, it's coming in a moment of lament. So again, we should be thinking of this as a very special moment, right?
It's a very special moment, and you would say that rhythmically, melodically, even the wording, it could be a wedding song, except it isn't. It's a lament. And all too often, the words of lament, the words of love song, the words of weddings, they can be interchangeable. But the situations are so different. They're still beautiful, however, and erotic. And I think that's signaled by how she looks just like Aphrodite when she sings this. And something else that I really love about this passage is how you can really see that a soloist, in the context of a choral performance, can have the dominant emotion. But that doesn't completely rule out all the other emotions of all the other people who are responding to this central song, and all the other singers and dancers. Because remember, any kind of stylized body motion, even in lament, is dance. So I'm legitimately using the word singers, dancers in a chorus. This is still a choral situation. But in a situation like this, everybody has their emotions. Everybody brings in their emotions. And then it's fascinating to see how Briseis has more than one life experience to connect with here. And isn't it wonderful the way you can go from one memory to another, to another, to another? This is going to be very important when we read the Hippolytus of Euripides, because instead of arguing over what is the age of the chorus, people like to do that, and I think it's not very productive. The age of the chorus in the Hippolytus, because it looks as if at one point they're talking about first menstruation. Another point, they're talking about childbirth. So what is it? Well, but that's the point, is that in a lament or in a love song, the memories that drive the emotions and all the beautiful memories and the sad ones are almost interchangeable. And the memory can skip, can fast forward, can go backwards. All sorts of things can happen in women's lament. And that's one of the most beautiful things about this kind of song form, is that unlike other song forms, which tend to be more occasional, all right, there's this one occasion that is being responded to. When somebody's lamenting, anything is fair game. Any memory that somehow relates to what's happening right now, which is seeing a beautiful corpse.
Right.
And I'm emphasizing that it's a beautiful corpse because heroes who die in the Iliad are always beautified. Or to say it in French, they are le beau mort, the beautiful corpse. And so they don't just experience la belle mort, the beautiful death, they are beautiful in death.
So everyone's seeing that.
Everyone's
seeing
sees
that corpse, and it's
Yeah.
triggering different things for everybody.
Everybody. And then at the end it's made explicit, is that the people who are sort of participating in this song of Briseis, they mourn for Patroklos, because that's technically what what Briseis does. That was their pretext. Prophasis is the word in Greek. But they were all mourning, each and every one of them, for what they really cared for in their sorrow.